Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dino's Kitchen. In our family, Bolognese has always been a very special dish, special on a Sunday. You are still asking why you have got the wine with you, Dino. There is wine in this recipe, so why you don't have a nice glass of wine while you are cooking? Salute! Do you wanna find out how I make this fantastic, fast and easy Bolognese recipe? Facciamo! Onions, carrots and celery. Chissà da mangiare su sedano, frate. Let's start with the onions. You can make it smaller, bigger, julienne, whatever you want. But because that is a very quick bolognese, the smaller you cut the veg, the quicker they will cook, no?
Sai che il pomodoro che hai preso is with herbs?
No. Ma perché fanno sto fatto con l'herbs? Avrancati i piscitelli cannuccia, all'amaramano. Same thing for the celery, eh? Very, very, very small. What I personally like to do is I like to cook off my meats on a very high temperature. In that case, we can have much more flavor from the actual meat. I like to have a mix of 50% each beef and pork. In Bologna they put just beef,
okay.
But many parts of Italy they put a little bit of both. Once the oil is getting nice and hot, a generous pinch of salt on each meat. Why I season the meats already before cooking? Because it's the same principle of a steak. You season the steak before you cook, otherwise the salt won't penetrate properly into the meat. We're gonna go and sear off. We will fry and keep the meat side down like that until it gets a nice deep color. We can check we get the color on the meat. That is where all the flavor comes from. At this stage it's up to you if you like chunkier or very minced. Personally I don't like very minced, so I'll roughly crush the meat with a spoon, still leaving quite big chunks of meat. We are not gonna wait the meat to fully cook because we still need to cook with other liquids and things. So at this stage we add our soffritto. I've over-seasoned the meat on purpose to give a very deep flavor, so I'm not gonna season anything else until the end. Very good news. I found chopped tomato without the herbs. I'll make a toast for the tomato. Mamma mia, proprio buono. This step is crucial. A nice spoonful of tomato paste. Okay. And we now need to really cook off the tomato paste. That is the best flavor you can give to a bolognese. As you can see in the pan, we are getting roast tomato attached to the pan. That is actually what we want. And when we reach this stage, we can add a little bit of rosemary, but you can really add whichever herbs you like. It's completely up to you guys here, yeah? And before it gets burned completely, we go with quite a lot of red wine. And in that way, we deglaze all the flavor from the bottom of the pan. And in the same time, we let all the alcohol evaporate. And at the same time, we get a little bit of alcohol evaporate in our head, yeah? Right, at this stage, you see, the red wine is pretty much gone completely. The meat is fully cooked. and the veg are already soft enough. Chopped tomato. Goes in like that. I don't bleach the tomato. Personally, I like the chunky tomato in the pasta. It gives a different texture. That's just my personal taste, but you can use passata. Just don't put ketchup into it because we're gonna have a problem, eh? I know people that put ketchup in the Bolognese. The boiling point is already there. We can low down to medium to low and leave to reduce the tomato sauce at least by half. We're gonna put an Italian portion of linguine. Usually people use spaghetti bolognese, but I prefer linguine. Look at that, my friend, bolognese in less than half an hour. You see? Tomato is not watery anymore. You leave the gap. So it's time to switch it off completely. And in that way, we get the sauce to rest a little bit, okay? No, just the sauce need to rest. We need to rest as well. So let's help our rest with a nice glass of wine. Now I remember why my dad was always happy to make the bolognese on a Sunday. Now he explains many things. He always used to put a nice knob of butter into it. It was his thing. I don't know. He doesn't know the reason why. You know, he just did it. So because this recipe is inspired to my dad, I'm doing the same. You know, the rosemary at this point we can chuck in the bin. Hola, poo. She smelled the meats and she cannot resist. It smells good. Wine is not for you, hola, poo. Oh, we should make bolognese a bit more often. Think a little bit of pepper. Small pinch of salt. Right, the pasta is ready. It needs another minute of cooking still. We're gonna turn on the sauce again. The sauce is nice and hot. It's time to add our pasta. Touch of water. We can turn off the heat. Nice drizzle of olive oil. We can plate it up our bolognese. Let Parmesan rain. Like my dog is going in crazily insane here. Like she's like sniffing everywhere. You want bolognese? See? It's one of the best bolognese I've ever had. Less than 30 minutes. Look at that, mamma mia. You wanna taste?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I'm not tasting it.
Guys, see you in the next video. Dino's Kitchen is going to eat the bolognese.
Give me that fork.
Give
me that fork.
Give me that fork.